Hello and welcome to another episode of Crypto Charts. I'm Fausto Botelho, broadcasting from Brazil, and here we use our simple technical analysis and try to find out what is going to happen to these crazy cryptos. So first I'm going to quickly examine what's happening with the S&P, and then we're going to see Bitcoin and another 7 cryptos that I think might outperform Bitcoin. So, come along. Here we go. First, the S&P, which we think is reverting these this upward trend that started in March 2009. We have many reasons to believe that. 3 upward movements, double top, broke this support trend line, and now it's back towards the top, very close to the top. Actually, this is the chart I see. I'm, Brazilian, and I've lived with 40% inflation a month. And so I always index my charts in order to take inflation out of it. As I also do long-term charts, I index with the CPI, the American stock indexes like the S&P and the Dow and the Nasdaq. So let's go and see what's happening with the chart that is seen by most of the investors in the stock markets, because that's very important, very specific detail I want to show you guys. So back to the chart here, I'm going to show you now the S&P not indexed. So what we see is that the all-time high was in September last year, but the all-time higher close was September 20, and that was 2930.75, while yesterday we had a close of 2933, so 3 points higher. So that means we broke the all-time high in terms of closing prices, not in terms of maximum achieved price, but in terms of closing price. And when you go see the Nasdaq 100, which is the one for which there's a future market, is more important, more liquidity, and so on. We can see clearly that it broke its all-time high. This is the Nasdaq indexed by CPI, as I'm showing here. Right. So, and what happens today? One of the candles that couldn't happen after the market breaks a important resistance line, resistance level, sorry. Whenever the market breaks a resistance level, it can do anything except 6 candlestick reversal formations, and it just made one. At least he made the formation, which is a harami. Harami is a pregnant woman in Japanese, and that's a small real body within a large real body. And this is what happened. We need confirmation, but anyway, it shouldn't happen. It shows that there is something wrong, and what's wrong is that the market's been climbing 23% since December. So it's tired, and it's dealing now with the resistance of the all-time high. So I think we're going to have a correction. If we have a correction, and if this correction breaks this support trend line, then we can think of a Fibonacci correction of this trend line, and that would mean the market would, like, for instance, the Nasdaq would fall like 9.5%. The S&P would fall little less. I already drawn this here, would be 7.5%. And with that, well, then we're going to analyze to see if that's a reversal or that's just a correction of the upward movement. But I'm sticking on my analysis that the market has reversed. And if the market has reversed, the correction of the upward trend that starts in 2009 would take 1/3 of the value of the stock market indexes in the US. And that would bring recession and so on. And I have this theory, whenever the market climbs too much, it calls for bearish news. So I'm expecting a bearish news, and I think it might as well come tomorrow because of the testing of the all-time high. And that could eventually be that maybe because of the oil prices are going up, someone from the Fed could, for instance, say that, well, who knows what can happen with the American economy and the world economy if oil prices go up. Maybe they could start thinking of inflation. And if they think of inflation, maybe the central bank could eventually change its dovish policy in terms of hiking the interest rates. So that could be enough of a new for the market to boom. Let's wait and see. So let's go to Bitcoin now. Okay, and Bitcoin, I'm going to be showing you here the ones we're keeping an eye on. And well, let's start with this Bitcoin here, which is the long-term chart of Bitcoin. Well, in the beginning, you must, if you're a subscriber to the channel. Oh yes, I must remind you, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Help us achieve 20,000 subscribers. We're 19, and we leave out of that. So it would be nice if you could subscribe. Tell your friends to click the bell so you'll be advised whenever there's a new video. I'm sorry that I split this channel in between videos in Portuguese and in English, but there's a weekly video, and you're going to have my experience, 40 years of experience plus in technical analysis, working for you and giving you my idea of what's happening in the crypto world. So, if you're not new to the channel, you might have seen me analyzing this market. Let us put this in a weekly chart, in which I would have called this first upward movement here as wave 1. But the point is that nothing has been analyzed so far, leaving from zero value, and Bitcoin left from zero value. This chart shows it at 0.0 some cents of dollar. So I don't think that counts. It goes from 0 to $37 or something, and then it comes back to 2, and then it starts its trend, its cycle, I would say. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upward cycle out of $2. So what I before considered as being wave 1, I'm not considering anymore. I'm sort of erasing that out of the chart and starting to think in terms of Elliott waves when the market goes from $2 to $1,000, right? So doing that, that becomes wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. We'll be starting wave 5 now. And about that, about starting a upward movement or not, well, this fits perfectly in a corrective wave because of this descending triangle. Descending triangle is basically a correction movement, or an ascending triangle is also a correction movement. A descending triangle would be a reaction movement, right? which would be a correction movement in terms of Elliott Wave. So this just fits perfectly, you know, A, B, C, and that's it. That's the correction, which I'm now calling wave 4, and similar to the correction to wave 2, in which we also had A, B, and C. And so we broke these two resistance trend lines here. So I think we're going up. Yeah, we're going up. But to explore a little bit more, let's see the daily chart first, in which we clearly see an ascending triangle here. And an ascending triangle is a correction movement, and it shoots the prices upwards. Also, I see a bottom formation here, if you want, you can call it a inverted head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then it breaks the neckline and pulls back to the neckline, and then it goes up and breaks this resistance trend line here and this other resistance trend line that wasn't marked here, but it's right here, right? So it makes two trend lines, and then it accumulates in an ascending triangle. Now, if we want to explore this downward trend that the market had today in the intraday, we can go to the hourly chart, or better, we go to the 4-hour chart. And see, so far this is just a pullback to this to the resistance level of this ascending triangle, right? And I'm now in the hourly chart, and this looks like a double bottom here, and up I think the market will go. And whereabouts could it go? Well, coming back to this chart, if this is wave 1, this is wave 3, we're starting wave 5 now, which I remind you is the big one. Yeah, the big one, because it happens in the abyss of the euphoria, with all the euphoria that might come to the market. And there's something else. If I'm right about the S&P, if the S&P falls eventually a small percentage, I've talked about that here too, but if a small percentage of the S&P, let's say the money is in the New York Stock Exchange, which is 28 trillion, 1% of that is $280 billion, right? If we go to coin market cap here, we'll see that whereabouts is coin market cap? It's over here, but we'll see that the market cap of the crypto space today is $176 billion, which is nothing when compared to the money that is in the stock market, right? So 1% in New York Stock Exchange, it's $280 billion. We're 170. So that could push Bitcoin to, but let's see here in the charts, right? Let's not just speculate. Let's see what has happened before. Well, what has happened is that wave 1 was this big and wave 3 was this big here. You know, as you can see through these segments here, right? So if we project wave 3 from the bottom here, we're going to $300,000, right? Specifically, we would be going to $342,000. That's if we project wave 3, but if we project wave 1, then we will go even further up. Oh, from here, yeah. We would go to plus $1 million. That could happen. Yeah, I think that could happen. Yeah. I'm with Mr. John McAfee that thinks that the market is going hugely up. But if we only have a wave that is similar to, that would be similar to wave 5 of wave 3, which is the upward movement we had in 2017, then we're heading to $75,000, or more specifically, yeah, $65,000. But you know, whenever Bitcoin breaks the 20,000 level, who knows where it could go? I mean, there would be a huge euphoria in the market, and the sky would be the limit. So that's it for Bitcoin. I'm very bullish on it. And so now let's take a look at 7 coins that we're keeping an eye on because we think they might outperform Bitcoin. So come on. The first one would be basic attention token. Let's put them all in daily chart. Well, basic attention came from above here, and then it accumulated, and then it broke the resistance of this long-term accumulation, which we could call a rectangle because there's 2 buttons here and a lot of tops there, and then it pulled back, and now it's clearly flagging up. So we're keeping an eye on that, and we plan to incorporate this into our portfolio and make a recommendation of it. We do have a service of calls that you receive in a list of Telegram, and we have a team. I'm the captain of it, and whenever we see possibilities, we deal with the Bitcoin standard here. So the idea is for you to buy anything with Bitcoin in order to increase your Bitcoins. Why? Well, because I think Bitcoin is going to 300 plus $1,000. So I don't want to have my money in any fiat currency. I want to have my money in Bitcoin. So I count my money in Bitcoin whenever there is, like if you're in the States, you're going to be able to buy stocks in dollars to increase the amount of dollars that you have. If you're in the crypto space, I think you should be willing to increase the amount of Bitcoins that you have, right? So that's the basic idea. And basic attention token, beautiful project. We'll take the intermediary, the middleman out of advertising, the advertising of the electronic media. It's a beautiful project, has everything to explode that, and the BAT token would be used by the advertisers to pay whoever would see their advertiser or whoever would promote their advertising and so on. It's complicated but decentralized media, very interesting. So we're keeping an eye on BAT because of that, and for that we always take a look in the hourly chart and to see whenever this resistance level is broken. I think it's the time for buying BAT. Bitcoin Cash has broken this resistance trend line and it's accumulating. Is it? I don't know. Depends on what happens in another 2 hours, where's the close is gonna be, right? So if it if it goes up, let's take a look at the hourly chart. Doesn't look like it. It's maybe if it goes up here. Let's go back to the daily and give us a hammer Bitcoin candle, for instance. It will be telling us that this might be a rectangle, and that would then be an accumulation, a continuation pattern, right? So Bitcoin, we must remember, is well, I closed already no, it's okay. It's coin number 4 in terms of the Bitcoins, the crypto space, right? So keeping an eye on Bitcoin Cash. Now that it doesn't have a mortal enemy anymore to play with, his enemy apparently has died, Bitcoin SV, because as everybody knows, it was delisted from Binance, right? So Bitcoin is number 4 now, right? And I'm very curious now to see what happened to Bitcoin SV, to Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash SV, Bitcoin Cash SV, Bitcoin Cash SV came to 14th place, $933 million, $933 million. Yeah, it's $1 billion for Dash. Yeah, and it's going down, and we will further down. Yeah, I'm sure about that. But anyway, second one is Binance. Binance is everything that one could want in terms of a coin, right? It has outperformed Bitcoin all over its beginning, and it has done so in 2008 beautifully. Made a ascending triangle, broke the ascending triangle, and I think it's now within this accumulation and continuation pattern here. And it's giving us a beautiful hammer today. So if that remains until the close, we are probably showing a long, a buying call for Binance Coin. And by the way, if you enter the Matic, which is the coin Binance is launching today, don't forget to claim your tickets. Okay, I did claim my ticket, but you know, when I saw it, it was number 10,007,000 and something. So I have one ticket. That's my odds are probably not higher than winning a lottery ticket. But anyway, we're there, right? Free money. Everybody wants free money because this token is probably going to be traded many times above its launching price in Binance Coin. So Binance has also launched its chain, which is very important. It's going to steal a lot of projects out of the other competitors like Neo, like Ethereum, of course. They don't have smart contracts, but you know they have something that the others don't. You know, which is very, very important. Which is if you put your project in the Binance chain, you have half the way through being listed at Binance and traded at BINANCE Exchange. Because you know it's going to be just the click of a button for you to be listed as if you're already there, and of course they're gonna incentivize the ones that you know give prestige to their new chain. So I'm very bullish on Binance technically, fundamentally, and so on. And by the way, these upward ascending triangle projects this objective here, which is 0.0088, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that it's a potential 114-15% upward movement, and this last upward movement here, which can easily, very well be projected from, no, I'm wrong now. Actually, I did the video in Portuguese with the wrong expectation. We would have to project from the beginning of this upward movement here, and not from the top here. But anyway, that would be an upward movement of 257%. So very good chances there in Binance. The other one is Decreed. Well, Decreed, look at that. It broke this resistance trend line, and then it is clearly, because it held here above support, the support is clearly showing us that this is a rectangle. And if it's a rectangle, it's a continuation pattern, and that should be considered because, you know, if we draw Fibonacci levels here, the objective would be for you to expect a upward movement of 45%, not bad, right? EOS has held in the support, and as it has just broken this resistance trend line, it is showing that eventually this is a rectangle as well. So if we have a reversal here, we didn't have anything in terms of candlestick, but we might have a, like for instance, an engulfing tomorrow, then we would consider it in our portfolio and in terms of recommending our customers to buy it. Litecoin. Well, Litecoin, I have to confess that I moved a little bit these resistance trend line, but it has performed very well. Litecoin is coin, oops, not here, Litecoin is coin number, what's Litecoin? Number 6, right? Before Binance Coin, 4 billion, right? So it's very considerable. And I think because we are having this hammer today, I think it might as well have come just for a pullback to the former resistance line or to this support level here, which is important. Look, we have the stop here, the stop here, tops here, top here, bottom here, top here. Important resistance level, support level, former resistance level, of course. And so keeping an eye on that. If these hammer confirms tomorrow, I think that's a coin to watch, and could outperform Bitcoin as well. Monero, we've been bearish for a long time because it was a accumulation below these very important support trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a pullback here, another pullback here. So it's definitely, I think, going down. First testing is next support levels, and probably going further down to test this 0.01, which is very close to the all-time low. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber yet. And if you are thinking of opening an account in Binance or in BitMEX, specifically in Binance, please use the link below. You'll help us, because then we're going to get a commission, and that helps keep on the channel and bring this content to you. Thank you very much. See you next time. Ciao.